Okay. Hello. So I'm saying this is a picture of a mom, and her feathers are all plucked out. And because her feathers are all plucked out, it means that she has given of herself. So I'm starting all over again because I've noticed I was muted all through. I tell you. I hope you're going to hear me. Yeah, I think we are doing good. Miley, please let me know. I've seen your comment. Please let me know if you can hear me now. I've unmuted my side. That was the problem. Thank you. I've unmuted myself. Can you hear me now? I think definitely you can hear on your side. Right, Miley? Okay. So awesome. Thank you, Miley. Thank you, Miley. So we are back on Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. So I want to restart again. And I started with this photo, and I was saying how this photo to me represents a mom fully. And it represents a mom in that, first of all, she has plucked all her feathers. And I know moms are going to relate with me. Awesome. Thank you, Shiro. The sound is back on. Thank you, Jesus. So we usually pluck our feathers and give everybody. And for as long as we have plucked our feathers and given everybody, it means that we are left without covering. We are running on empty. And I want you to look a little bit closer to her eyes, to the mom's eyes. There's a tear that's dropping. And I'm saying that for me, that's so representative of mothers, that as we give of ourselves to everybody, we are just covered in tears. And part of covering ourselves with tears means that our confidence has been injured. And so as we are talking today about momfidence, I just want us to pick a little feathers so that we don't give everything away, and all we are left with is that we are drenched with tears. I want us to be honest with ourselves. And I was asking, what are some of the things that represent your mother? And I was sharing before we've sorted the technical issues. I was saying one of the feathers that my mom has plucked for us is that she's so prayerful. If there's one thing we can depend on mom, is that if we are going through something, we just need to tell her, Mom, pray for me. So I want you, ladies who are already on, please write one word that describes your mom or the mom figure that took care of you. I'm sure some of the words that you would use are here: supportive, encourager, she's forgiving, she's kind, she's attentive, she's dedicated, she's loyal, she's joyful. She's thoughtful, insightful, she's fun, she's tolerant, she's awesome, she's gracious, she's strong, she's smart, patient. So please write to me some of the words that describe your mother. I would really love to see that. And I want you to imagine that any word that you're going to write, those are feathers that your mom has plucked so that she's able to cover you. Those are feathers yourself as a mom you have plucked to share with other people, and all you're left with is a tear. And so today, as we spend time together, what I want us to do is to realize that we don't have to pluck all our feathers, that we can be left with something for us. We have to be left with something for us. I like Miley has said that just like my mom, her mom is also prayerful. What else is your mom like? And now that we're talking about momfidence, I really want to define what it is. It's just a word that was created by saying a mom who is confident has momfidence. Shiro says that her mom is sacrificial, hardworking, intuitive. All these words, those are feathers that your mother has given you. I'm sure if we ask your children, they will also say, name some of the feathers that you have been able to pluck for, and given them covering with. So momfidence is a state of mind of a mom who is so secure in who she is that she doesn't feel the need to compare herself with anyone, nor believe she's superior to anyone. And I want to pause right there and say, that's one of the ways that you know if you have momfidence. Are you comparing yourself with anybody? Because you either feel inferior or superior because you're looking at somebody and thinking, you are so small and little, you're down there. That means somebody is feeling superior. But yet there's somebody who feels so tiny and small and insignificant, which means that you're inferior. But you're either superior or inferior because you're comparing yourself with somebody. And so what I want to say is, now we need to own our momfidence so that we are not comparing ourselves with anybody. We are so secure in who we are. And so as we are going on with this conversation, I want you to chime in the comments. Let me know what you're thinking. And as I'm ending the definition of momfidence, you as a mother, your authenticity is so evident in everything that you do. Every choice you make just shows that you're confident, and that's what we want to talk today. So what I want to encourage you as a mother is your story is unique. Everything that has happened to you up until this point in time, you're unique, and you're so different, mummies, that you don't need to compare yourself with anybody. And why is that? You're worthy. You're worthy. And for as long as you know you're worthy, don't compare yourself with anybody. If God in heaven, who was creating you, said you're wonderfully and beautifully made, you don't need to compare. His word is the stamp that says you're worthy. And so as we go on, I hope that you're going to see yourself in this conversation and say, you know what, I'm going to bump up my confidence. I'm going to mom up, and I'm going to show up in the world with my momfidence. So I was saying earlier, before I turned on my my microphone, that I used to work in, I've worked in HR departments because that's my line of study. And I worked at International Committee of the Red Cross, and my last employment was at UNDP Somalia, also in their HR department. Now, one of the things we were doing in the HR department is creating a job description. So a person who is a head of department comes and says, you know what, we have a gap. We have a gap of this person. Please create a job description. So we create a job descriptions, do the advert based on the job description, and then call in for the CVs to come. And the ones that are shortlisted are the ones that closely relate with the job description. So one of the things I was asking before we sorted our issue is, who created the job description for mothers? I know in HR departments, organizations, they're the ones who do that, but who created this one for mothers? Because the only title we could be given is mother, but within the job description, it's like all jobs, we are the ones who are supposed to do it. For example, we are personal chefs, we are head cheerleaders for our children and everybody around us. We are housekeepers. We are drivers. Wherever anybody wants to go, we take them. We are janitors. We are personal shoppers. We are tutors. I'm sure if you're a mother here who has been teaching her children, say, yes, I'm a tutor. We are nurses. When our children get hurt or anybody in our house, we run because we'll do first aid first. We are keeper of secrets. Many our children have come to their mother first to say, Mom, I have an issue, because we are good keepers of secrets. We make hair. We are storytellers. We are mediators when there's conflict in the home. I don't know who created a mom's job description, but I know that God is with us. He's given us such huge responsibility. But I don't think that he gave us this responsibility and then said, you're going to be injured, pluck your feathers, give everybody, remain with none. The Bible talks about us being given the dominance and reign over everything, the resources of the earth. Adam and Eve were both given. And so we need to mom up and take our position, but that can only happen if we have momfidence. Do we have confidence in ourselves? Are we so secure in who we are, in our capabilities, in our skills? Are you secure in who you are? Because for as long as you're not secure, people will always judge you on this job description that was created by somebody. And so part of our comparison is by saying, see, so-and-so cooks very well. My friends and mentees know I'm not the best of cooks in terms of cooking does not come to me naturally. Having said that, during the COVID season, I'll tell you why, but I've had to be alone with the children. And of course, I have had to sharpen my cooking skills, because even though we cook, I'm sure there's a mother out there who will watch the replay or is watching now who is not as natural a cook. Please let me know if you're one of them who will watching now or watching the replay later. So we've had to sharpen, but here's the thing. For as long as we keep comparing ourselves with another mother and being reminded, why can't you be like Mama Joy? We are always going to feel insignificant. We are always going to feel inferior. So if we are going to mom up, we have to be secure in who you are. If you're not a natural cook, go and look for somebody to teach you how to cook. If you desire to cook, be you. Don't try to copy. I loved this photo, and tell me if you love it as well. Thank you for the 5 people who've joined in. Your babies, this is how they look at us, so lovingly, such like heroes. You know, our children don't see what we see in ourselves. They see somebody who can save the world, that as long as mom is there, I'm okay. This is how your babies look at you, with such love and such admiration. My question is, why do you see yourself this way? Why do you see yourself with and just see disappointment? Why do you look at yourself and see such flaws? Why do you look at yourself and just see nothingness? Your children look at you like this, lovingly. They admire you, but this is how you see yourself. My hope is, as we are continuing with this conversation, you get your smile back, and you'll get your smile back because your confidence will be activated. One of the things I'm proud about is I'm an encourager, and I love people seeing themselves the way God sees you. My mentees also know, and they've come, I've seen several coming on. My mentees know every time I say hashtag, it's an important point. For some people, they put stars, others underline. For me, I say hashtag. So my mentees out there, if you know this, just write hashtag. So hashtag for me is giving a point. So stop beating yourself up. Give yourself permission to enjoy moment by moment life experiences. That's number one. Part of how we are going to get our momfidence is by stopping to beat ourselves up. Stop. Let's stop. That when we look at the mirror, we're not going to start saying, oh, I have no eyebrows. By the way, Wairimu has no eyebrows. Oh, I have small ears. Wairimu has small ears. What do you see when you look into a mirror? Do you see a confident mom? Do you see a woman who is ready to take on the world? Or do you see a woman who is insignificant? Part of how you're going to activate your momfidence is by not beating yourself anymore. Give yourself permission to enjoy moment. I'm not even saying you start saying, I have momfidence immediately. No, I'm saying a moment. Take a moment by moment step. Enjoy the life experiences. The more you enjoy life experiences and show up in the world being authentic, then the better you are. Thank you, Miley, for smiling at my hashtags. Yes, I do that. Shiro, it's true that our children don't see what we see in ourselves. They see heroes. But if those are children and they can see you're a hero, God has already confirmed that you're wonderfully and beautifully made. Whose opinion do we need? That's confirmation that you're okay, that you're significant, that you're useful, that you're needed, that you're important. So let's stop beating ourselves up. So this is, did you know confidence comes from the word fider, which means to trust. So that means then if confidence means to trust, the question is, do you trust yourself? That's what you should be asking. Do I trust myself to make the right decisions in my life? Because if you don't trust yourself, you have to ask yourself, why? What happened in my life story that made me lose trust in who I am? Comparison, because as long as you compare yourself with somebody, you'll always feel less than. And if you feel less than, you'll always doubt any decision you're about to come. Moms, let's mom up. Let's take our momfidence and show up in the world authentic. Let's trust ourselves that whatever God has put in our minds, the skills, our experiences, our capabilities, that we can show up and not feel inferior anymore. So for those who do not know me, let me let you know who I am. My name is Wairimo, the Audacity Mentor. I'm a mom of 3. I'm a wife, and next year we'll be 16 years married. I'm a daughter, I'm a firstborn daughter. I'm a sister, I'm a friend, I'm an auntie, I'm a relative. I am a Christian-based mindset and life mentor. I'm an edupreneur. I've run a school for 22 years. I am a CKD stands for chronic kidney disease warrior. Every day I have that fight going, but it doesn't take me away from my calling. I'm an upcoming author and I cannot wait because I want to share with moms the importance of knowing that you're significant and you are enough. Stop comparing yourself. But of all the titles that I have, the one that I hold the most is that I'm a child of God. And that's so important to me because it helps me show up trusting that God did not make a mistake. Again, my question, do you trust yourself? And what I'll do later as I'm coming towards the conclusion of this teaching session is tell you how we can work together so that you get your momfidence back. Now, ladies who I have mentored know that I really love studying women in the Bible because I think some of them are so forgotten and so unknown. It's not something that is talked about a lot. And so I love bringing the characters of the Bible, especially those who are moms, to life. And I want to share a story of 2 of these ladies. So this is Sephra and Puah. And for those who know the story, is there, it is in Exodus 1. Please mark that in your notebooks as you're writing that. And Sifra and Puah were midwives, and their job was to go help the Hebrews' mom deliver their babies. And so what happened is, remember Joseph was like a prime minister. And so when there was a famine, he brought in his family. And so after that, they settled there and started having their children. And so the king who came at that point, or the Pharaoh who came, was so threatened by the Hebrews that he really thought, we need to do something because there is no way they are going to outnumber us. And so what he decided is, you know what, we're going to kill all the male boys that are born so that there's no one to continue with the generations. And so these ladies were called upon that every time they go and help a mom give birth, they make sure that if it's a boy, they kill the boy. And so these 2 women, between fearing God and fearing their Pharaoh or king, they feared God. And so what they said is, these women of the Israelites, for them, they are so vigorous that when they are giving birth, it is so fast. By the time we get there, their babies are already born. And so they refused to go ahead with that plan. They prevented a genocide. What would you have done in their position? Whose input would you have taken? Would you have feared God, or would you have been confident, like Shifra and Puah? Would you have been so confident and trust yourself the decision that you have made is the best one? At this point in time, they both didn't have children. They were both barren. But what happened is that when God saw the choice they had made, he gave them families of their own. Ladies, what do your decisions show? Do your decisions show that you are confident in who you are and that you trust your decisions? These 2 women chose to prevent a genocide, even if their own lives would have been in danger. We are moms. They refuse to kill the babies. Thank you, Tabs, for coming on, and hashtag glad I get to learn this early. Yeah, thank you for inviting your friends. Let's do that. But the thing is, if we are going to mom up, we have to make tough choices. But we can only make tough choices if we are secure in who we are. These 2 ladies were secure in who they are, and they did not care about the king and this genocide call. They refused. And because of that, the babies continued being born. So what do we need to do? We need to shatter these standards that have been set for us and do life afraid. We need to do life afraid. We need to show up into the world and show up when we are strong and show up when we know who they are. So here is the thing. When you look into the mirror, because I showed you a mirror and I said that when we look into the mirror, we just see disappointment. We just see somebody who's given up on their dreams. We've seen somebody who wanted to have financial independence, but they do not. We see the wrong. We see the I should have done. We see the what if. I want you ladies who are watching to shatter that image in the mirror. Let's shatter the image in the mirror. Please write, I'm shattering the image in the mirror. After you shatter that image, bleed, because moms, have you ever been, boxed a mirror? If you did, you know you will bleed. But I'm saying, let's bleed. It's worth it. Because if we are going to get our confidence back, we have to do something that has never been done before. Shatter the image in the mirror. Bleed, moms. After you bleed, get help, because you need to get better with the bleeding, and then start healing. Where can you get help? There are many coaches and mentors out there who you can go to and say, I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. I want my life back. How badly do you want your life back? Thank you, Shiro, for saying I'm shattering the image. We must, Shiro, bleed, get help, start healing, start living, and then buy a new mirror. So that the new image that you're going to see is a woman with confidence. And the way you're going to show up in the world is a woman who is secure in who she is. Other people's opinion, she can listen, but it will not shift her plans because she shows up authentic. Yeah, let's shatter that mirror. So that's hashtag point number 2. Shatter the mirror with your insecure image. Whatever your insecurities are, shatter the image. Bleed. Yeah, get help. Start healing. Start living. And show up authentic. And the way you know you show up authentic, by buying a new mirror, which will have a different image of you. If that's something that you want, or thank you, Rose, my accountability partner, for coming on. Yes, I'm shattering the image in the mirror. How I needed to hear this. Let's shatter the mirror. Let's shatter the mirror. That insecurity, we don't want to show up insecure. We want to show up confident in who we are. And you know what? As mothers, when we show up confident, the family starts feeling, there's a change. And anyone who's been through my program knows this happens exactly. As we continue doing the program, not just mine, but even others, the more you sharpen your mind, the more you see yourself from a different perspective, the more confident you show up. Look at that photo. Ladies, look at that photo, a small kitten, but the image is of a tiger. Which image are you seeing when you look in the mirror? Do you see a small kitten, or do you see the tiger in you? Shatter the mirror, ladies. Shatter the mirror. So next time you look into the mirror, see yourself through God's eyes. You know why? Because when God looks at us, he doesn't see small, insignificant mothers who are not known, or people don't even care to know. But when God looks at you, he doesn't see a kitten, mummies, because he created you with potential. And he looks at you and think, oh, how I wish she knew she was a tiger. Mummies, go and look for your inner tiger, because that's who you are. Let's buy a new mirror where when we look at ourselves, we see the tiger within. We are ready to roar, mothers. I talked about at the beginning how we pluck our feathers and give our children. My question is, have you ever named what you have given up? And if you're brave, if you have confidence, I want you to write some of those things that you have plucked your feathers and given up for other people, the people around you, your children, your husband, your family. What have you given up for everybody else? I want you to name that. Have you ever thought about it? Because sometimes we don't cry. Can you see the little tear in the mommy bird? What have you given up? What is bringing you tears? We need to wipe those tears. We need to love ourselves first. You cannot give what you do not have. If you don't have confidence, you can't pass it on to your children. If you do not love yourself, you can't pass it on to your children. God loves you. God knows you're worthy. He created you with feathers. Stop plucking them for everybody else. What have you given up? Thank you, Miriam. Yeah, you're one of my mentees, and thank you. You were actually number one mentee, and I'm so grateful for you. May God bless you. I've seen you grow just like you have seen me growing. As you think about what you've given up, my question to you is, what's your ROS? What's your ROS? What's your return on sacrifice? You've sacrificed, you've given up so that other people progress. What has been your return on sacrifice? My mentees know I love acronyms. You know why? I hope there's a Wairimu out there who will confirm this. Because I wasn't shikaing education a little bit, I used to have to come up with acronyms so that I'm able to remember when the exam comes. And so my programs have a lot of acronyms because that's who I am now. That's how I remember things. But it's also become something unique for me, something that came because of a struggle. Now is something that I capitalize on because it brings remembrance for something. So what's your return on sacrifice? Maybe you gave up your career so that other people can do better. Maybe you gave up on financial independence. What have you given up? What are the feathers you've given up for your children? For anybody who is watching, what have you given up? What's your return? Have you gotten a return on your sacrifice? I have a program that's called Money Mindset Makeover for Moms, and it's a 30-day program, just 4 weeks, and you see yourself differently in terms of your worth and how much you should be paid for whatever you're doing. And one of the things I say, especially if there's a stay-at-home mother who is watching this right now, what do you get in terms of income because you gave up pursuing your career to stay at home? Especially if there's a young mommy who is just making that decision. In that program, I say you must get a DAM account. And I know my people know what that is. A DAM account, DAM, again with the acronyms, means don't ask me. Ask for a don't ask me allowance. Why? Because your dignity will come back. Because you don't need to borrow 100 bob every day, mummies. How we lose our confidence with those small things. What is your return on sacrifice? Today, this evening, sit down with yourself. List all the things that you've had to give up, because those are the things that make us lose our confidence. And then think, by the way, what has been my return on sacrifice? I'll tell you one return on sacrifice: looking at those babies and knowing that you instilled in them the character from when they were born. That's a good return on sacrifice. Getting those hugs and kisses goodnight, that's a return on sacrifice. And that's good because you're a mom. But what is your thing that you get returned to in terms of what you have given up? Our babies make us feel it was worth the sacrifice. But I want you to be true with yourself and ask, is it? Is it really? Number 3, hashtag. Be careful, mummies, how much you tolerate. If we are to mum out and have our confidence back, be careful how much you tolerate, because you're teaching people how to treat you. I remember at some point going to my coach and telling him how I'm having a hard time with fees collection at the school. And he told me, you know what, Wairimo, you teach people how to treat you. So if you show them that you're okay with fees not being paid, they're not going to pay. So stop blaming the parent. It is you. And today we are always at 100% collections because I taught them a different way. What about you? How are you showing up into the world, moms? What are you teaching your children about how to treat you? What are you teaching your spouse about how to treat you? What are you teaching your friends? Because I said part of lacking confidence is because we compare, but as we compare, we give people permission to cross some boundaries that they shouldn't cross. Be careful how much you tolerate. because you're teaching people how to treat you. If you're getting a message, please write some more comments. Are you tolerating things that you shouldn't be tolerating? Again, let's stop plucking our feathers. And as you're thinking about that and also making some comments, again, another woman that I want to share her story with, and this is Jochebed. And Jochebed, you will find her in the book of Exodus chapter 2. So Exodus chapter 1 is the one that had the two midwives, and this is Jochebed. Now remember, the two midwives were told to kill the boys, and they refused to do that. And what happened is that now the king or Pharaoh then decided, oh, if you guys are saying that the kids are being born too fast, then I have another plan. Now I'll send my soldiers and they are going to kill. Now Jochebed, we don't know her a lot because, again, some women in the Bible are never mentioned. But if I tell you her son, you'll be like, oh, okay, that one I know. Why? Because sometimes people know our children, our legacy, more than they know us. So Jochebed is the mother of Moses. And if you have a little baby right now, then it means that you have probably a Moses basket. And this is the woman responsible for Moses baskets. Her name is Jochebed. Remember her name. Now, Jochebed heard about the babies being killed. She had just had her baby. And so she gathered her family together, her two children at the time. She gathered Miriam and she gathered Aaron, and she told them, now, as we don't want our baby to be killed, again, Momfidence, as our baby is not going to be killed. And she made her whole family gather together and keep a baby quiet for 3 months. Can you imagine that? Because today in our neighborhoods, if there's a newborn, we will all know why. Because, we will hear the noise through the walls. I don't know how she did it, but she kept her baby quiet so that nobody in the neighborhood reported that she has her baby. And so when the baby was too old to keep anymore, she got a plan. And she decided, I'm going to make a box, and by faith, I'm going to put it in the river. And by faith, my baby is going to be taken care of by somebody. And so she took her reeds and she created the first Moses basket. And she put some tar so that when it goes to the river, the water doesn't seep in and get into her baby, because she didn't want her baby to drown. This woman was an inventor. Do we know her? No. We know her son. But there would be no Moses without Jochebed's mumming up and being confident and secure in her idea. Thank you, Fatma, for saying that you're catching up a bit. Thank you, my dear Elsie, for also coming on. And so Jochebed made the first Moses basket, and she lovingly put her 3-month-old baby into the basket and put him into the Nile River. And then she instructed her firstborn, Miriam, to follow the basket so that she sees where it's going, because they needed to hide the baby. They couldn't keep him any longer in the house. But here's the thing, moms, when you believe in God, when you trust in God, when you tell him, I'm thinking about doing this, give me the confidence to do that, she actually put her baby in a river. How many of you would have the courage to do that? And so as Miriam followed through, her brother was picked by Pharaoh's sister at the time. And here's the thing, his adopted mother, Moses' adopted mother, because that's how he got into the palace, must have known it was the baby of an Israelite. You know why? Because of the blanket that he was covered in. But yet Miriam went and said, oh, this is a nursing mom and nursing baby, and I know exactly who can help take care of this baby. And so the baby was taken, and the Pharaoh's sister said, oh, so you know who can take care of this baby? And she said, yes, I know, let me bring the lady. And Moses' mother was protected by soldiers because she was taking care of a prince. And so that's how Moses got into the palace. And he got into the palace because God needed him to get some skills in there. And so that's how Moses was trained in the art of war and many other things. And God was preparing him for being able to get the Israelites out of Egypt into the promised land. But it took Momfidence of Jochebed. How many of you can be trusted with such a big thing? Shifra and Pua took their Momfidence and they were able to stop a genocide. Because of Jochebed, Moses was able to get the Israelites into the promised land. What about you? What is God counting on you for? Because of her Momfidence, Moses' mother was given back her baby, and he could cry and nobody could do anything. Moses was the only baby in his generation because all the other boys had been killed. God protected him because one woman decided to be confident in her faith with God. What about you? It's possible. Thank you for the comments. Thank you, Miley, for saying what a beautiful story of faith. And for my friend, JC, Jay, for saying all along, knowing the story of Moses, but you didn't know about his mom's name. It's true. We don't, because we are not told about the powerful women who are in the Bible. We want to glorify their son, but it takes mothers to raise those sons. Thank you, Shiro, for confirming that today is the day I've learned about Jochebed. Yes, the inventor of the Moses basket. Let's celebrate this, mom. Miriam, loving the slides. You know, I have problems. I love slides because I'm a visual learner. I do this for you guys in class. Thank you so much. I want to encourage you with this quote, and it's from Stacy Sanchez. And it says that when God calls us to step out of our comfort zone, he's not calling us to be comfortable in the situation. He's calling us to be comfortable in him in spite of the situation. What is God calling you to be uncomfortable about, but comfortable in him? What is God trusting you with? It will take everything. It will take your momfidence. It will take mumming up. Ladies, we can do this. We can do this. Elsie says, yes, it is possible to make a difference in the next generation. Elsie actually coaches teens. Please reach out to her, and she gives the next generation confidence. But it takes her mom to enroll their children in that program. Yeah. So when God calls you, dear mom, to step outside of your comfort zone, he's not calling you to be comfortable. By the way, it's not comfortable to be outside your comfort zone. This was not comfortable at the beginning, but seeing your engagement, I'm like, thank God I did. God will be with you in that place of discomfort, but yet it is in that place of being secure with who you are and the decision that you've made that you know that, wow, I had it in me all along. Why? Because you shattered the mirror. You bled, you got help, you bought a new mirror. And now the person that you see is outside her comfort zone and smiling because she's secure in who she is. Ladies, let's be secure in who we are. So the next hashtag is be comfortable in God, because it's God who empowers us. I was asked one day, do you guys believe in the God who just spoke and everything fell into place? Is that the God that you believe? Because if that's the God that you believe, why are we scared? Why are we scared to venture into our comfort zones? There's somebody, the God that is in you, the God that created you. He just spoke and everything fell into place. That's the power that you have within you. So if you're not comfortable in yourself or in the situation, be comfortable in God, even if it will take everything that you have. Thank you, Rose, for saying about Moses' mom. Yeah, it's true. And you know what? Our names may never be known, but God is giving us big projects that require us to come out of our comfort zones. He's making us to be significant in our calling. And if you don't know what your calling is, please, I will tell you how we can work together at the end of this. So hashtag be comfortable in God. And I want to emphasize this with a verse. Proverbs 3:26-29, and I love the Message version. It says, dear friend, and in this case, I'll say, dear mom, guard clear thinking and common sense with your life. Guard clear thinking and common sense with your life. Don't for a minute lose sight of them. They'll keep your soul alive and well. They'll keep you fit and attractive. Say amen, moms. You'll travel safely. You'll neither tire nor trip. You'll take afternoon naps without worry. Moms, self-care. You'll enjoy a good night's sleep. No need to panic over alarms or surprises or predictions that doomsday is just around the corner. Because God will be right there with you. He'll keep you safe and sound. Amen. The reason why we are venturing outside our comfort zone, ladies, is because God is right there with us and He'll keep us safe and sound. Do you trust yourself? Do you trust in God that as you use your momfidence, as you mom up and do something you've never done before, that you will do it because you trust in yourself, you're secure in who you are, but most importantly, that you trust that God will be right there with you and He'll keep you safe and sound. I am so glad that I did this. I am so glad that I came here. I am so glad that I stepped out of my comfort zone. Thank you, Shelma, for joining. Yes, learning to be comfortable in God and be confident too, because that's where we'll get our confidence from. I have another question. What is your confidence attached to? Think about it. When do you feel the most significant? When do you feel the most empowered? When do you feel the most confident? I have a question. Is it your spouse? When your spouse says, "Oh, I love you, you're so beautiful," is that when you feel, "Oh, I am," and you feel confident? Is your confidence attached to your spouse? Is your confidence attached to your age? Because sometimes you just feel old and say, "I'm not going to tell you my age." Why? Why not? When Sarah was told that she was going to have a baby at 99, she laughed. Why did she laugh? Because she was like, "My age, me, I get a baby. How?" That's not how God works. God doesn't use human ways. If He's trusting you with something, if He trusts you with greatness, it doesn't matter your age. You can start at any time. Even now, ladies, it's never too late to catch up with those dreams, the feathers that you've plucked and given away. It is never too late. Is it your beauty that when you have lost weight is when you feel more confident? I love, Elsie says that her confidence is attached to God. That's what is important. Is your confidence attached to your beauty? I've seen Miriam in there. Miriam sells a beauty product and she's helped me walk that journey with her. You know, is it beauty that causes you to be confident? Be real with yourself, ladies. Is it money in your pocket? Is that what gives you confidence? Whether it is through income that you have earned through a job, is it through profits that you have gotten in your business? Is it through the DAM account allowance that you're given by your spouse? What gives you confidence? Is it societal status because maybe you live in Runda or Karen or somewhere that you feel is, "Oh, if I tell people this is where I live, I think I'll feel more superior and more confident." Is that what gives you confidence? Is it your friends? Could you have friends in, as we say in the world, high places? And when you tag them in your Facebook page or in your Instagram, then you say, "That's my friend." And so you feel confident. Shelma says that well-behaved, beautiful, and healthy children give her confidence because then she feels like she's been a good mom. And that's how the world, those are worldly standard, that if we have well-behaved, beautiful, healthy children, then we are confident in our mothering style. Am I saying that that's a bad thing? It's not a bad thing to have a spouse who admires you, or to look not your age, to look beautiful, to have the ideal weight, to have money. But I'm saying, are these the things that make you confident? We need to recheck ourselves. Could you have been born into what is it called, a family that has wealth? Could you be in a business that's doing well? Is it your job? What's giving you confidence? Ladies, what I want you to do is may your confidence be attached to God, like Elsie says, because your identity has to come from God. That even if you didn't have any societal status, even if you didn't have money in your hand, even if you didn't have all these things that we covet, that you can know you're enough in God. If you're a mom out there who is struggling, you're enough. You're enough. I like Miley says that when she works out and looks good, kwanza when the clothes fit, she feels so confident. Even her strut, I've seen her, is very different when she's come from the gym, and that is good. But the number one place where we are supposed to get our confidence is in God. Uh, uh, Judy Joke, she says, for her it is beautiful children. For Jedi, welcome. Her confidence is in God, and believe it. Let's get our identity in God, ladies. I always share this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt, that no one can make you inferior without your consent, or no one can make you feel inferior unless you agree with it yourself. If you're feeling insignificant, not useful, tiny, small, inferior, you do it to yourself, and you give permission to other people to treat you the same way. So let's look inward first. Let's have some introspection, so that when we show up into the world, we don't say we are feeling inferior because somebody made you, or somebody said, or somebody treated you. It is a choice that you have to make. Be secure in who you are, have some mom confidence. Think also about what steals your confidence. We've said what your confidence could be attached with and when you feel most confident. But my question is, what are your confidence stealers? And please write this. Please give me the comments. Thank you for being so participatory. Is it pride? Are you feeling, me, the way I'm important and I went to school somewhere, I can't say I'm not confident. The way people know I'm a strong woman. Are you full of pride? Are you insecure? Maybe in your weight. Do something about it. Don't just say I'm insecure and then not show up into the world. Do something. Is it in feeling, oh, I'm self-sufficient, I don't need anybody, I'm okay? And moms, we say that, how are you? I'm okay. Because you don't want to tell people you're going through pain. What's stealing your confidence, mom? Is it you doubt yourself? You're not secure in your capabilities. You're not secure in your abilities. Do you look at classmates who you are with in school and think, those ones are so far ahead, so I wouldn't even want to go for a reunion because what will I say I've been doing? I'm just a mom. And as a school owner, many a mom came to the school, and when we are talking, I ask, what are you doing? And they say, I'm just a mom. And I tell them, never say that. Don't say I'm just a mom. That's a position of honor that God has given you. You're not just a mom. You're a mom. You're significant. You're enough. You're important. God thinks so. And that's the opinion that should matter the most. Thank you. Fatma says self-doubt. One of the stealers for Elsie is self-doubt, especially people's opinions. Yeah. Is it your personality? Are you a Wairimu who is an introvert? And so you say, I can't show up. What if people laugh at me? I'm so shy. I'm so reserved. Could it be that's stealing your personality? Could you be completely opposite and so self-assured that you feel so important that steals your confidence? Yeah, Fatma also adds perfection, that if you're to do something, you want to do it so perfect, and as long as it is not perfect, you're not going to do it. Could you be having some poor habits that are not serving you? Could you be having an unclear purpose? And anyone who's come to my program, they live with a mission statement of their life. People's opinion, that when somebody says, oh, see, nowadays you're fat, you've nini. What is that word that most of us are told? Umejiwachilia. Yeah, umejiwachilia, and that crushes your spirit. You only get crushed because you believe it already before they've said. And so they confirm what you have been thinking all along, what's stealing your confidence. Be aware and then do something about it. Could it be fear? Be real. Could it be limiting beliefs? You know, you have these strong beliefs like, as in our family, nobody has reached college, so, or university, so definitely I can't. Or I'm a mother, I'm 40, how can I go back to school? Stop it. No, there is nothing that you cannot reach if you're confident and secure in who you are. So hashtag, another point that's important, even as we are coming closer to the end, is know your Momfidence stealers so that you set up the security required. When we are at home and people come into our home, as happened to us, and we had thieves come take things, after that you feel insecure because somebody has just come into your personal space. So every time we listen to people's opinions and they injure us, we've allowed them to come into our most intimate places. So you have to look for what's the security that's necessary. If I have low self-confidence, then let me look for the security that pumps up my confidence. If you're a perfectionist, then the security you're going to put is starting, even if all you do is the best draft, as my coach used to say. Start, even if it's not perfect. Leave people's opinions alone. Secure yourself. For every not non-confidence you have, look, a confidence stealer, look for the necessary security. I saw a question by Shiro asking how I got to ask parents for school fees in full. So one of the things that I did after sitting down is, number one, I was clear. I'm not strong enough to listen to a parent's story because my empathy level is so high that I always tell them, okay, if that's your story, then it's okay. You can pay later. So what we decided is we'll create a system in the school so that by the time we are opening day one, that's the clearance day. So if you've not paid fees, then your child cannot come into class. So you're not cleared to be in class. And so we just laid a foundation where the systems were not person-based, because that's what was my failure. It was not person-based, it was system-based. And now we follow a system so that even if the person is absent, it's the rule, it's the rule, it's the rule. So in case you're a business person and you're struggling, is create a system in your business. And I know when we hear the word system, we think it has to be a big organization. No, it's just saying step one is get your invoice. Step two is pay by this date in these accounts. Step three is, if you, by the date we have set for you, if you've not paid, then don't come. And that's it. And we decided to strengthen our system. Why? Because we want to make sure their salaries coming in. We want to make sure that the staff are able to get what they are worth, like that. Yeah. So that's what I did. I saw that, I left that. Elsie, thank you so much. You say that, I love that, Wairimo, that I only get hurt because they are confirming what I have believed all along. Again, a journey I have traveled myself. So be honest with yourself, because you're only going to get your confidence if you're confident in who you are, you're confident in and honest with yourself and saying, I'm struggling in this area, getting the help that is required, getting a new mirror. So when we are talking about confidence, it's like a muscle. You don't just say after this class, hey, I'm feeling confident, I'm feeling confident. It's something that you have to practice every day. When you look into the new mirror, you look at yourself and say, lady, show up into the world strong every day. And Elsie introduced me to a coach called Joanne as well. And one of the things I've learned from being in Joanne's circle is to write affirmations and just being gratitude and writing it down, not just saying, oh, thank you, God, for the sun, and that's it. Writing those things down on a daily basis. And the more grateful you are, the more fortunate you know, the more you see God's favor in your life, appreciating your toes, appreciating your fingers, appreciating that I can think and actually do something. Small things like that. Keep practicing. Keep and mirror. I don't just mean the literal mirror. I also mean just always looking deep within yourself and thinking, what do I need to do? What's the smallest step in the right direction? So it's something that you keep growing. Miley is very big on gymming. So the same way, Miley, you go to the gym and get stronger, because even as you're losing weight, you get your muscles getting stronger. That's how Momfidence is. It's with practice and practice and practice. So that's important for you to know. So how can we cultivate this muscle that we are calling the Momfidence muscle? Ladies, number one, please surround yourself with people who will build you up. If you're surrounding yourself with people who just beat you down, then you're not going to strengthen that muscle. You need to reframe expectations. Like I said at the beginning of our conversation, there is a JD, a job description that was created by mom. I don't know which person. And so we keep measuring ourselves against that standard. I have to be the best nurse. I have to be the best driver. I have to be the best tutor. I have to be the best what else are we supposed to do as moms? I have to be the best cook, I have to be the best janitor. So we have all this standard that has been set for us, and we keep measuring ourselves against a standard that we don't know who created. Mummies, reframe your expectations and say, what can I do well? What do I want to improve on? And then start setting small and measurable goals towards the standard that you have set for yourself. And then develop significance, because with every small win, you feel more important, more useful. You confirm that you're enough. And then create a plan to actualize your goals. What goals do you want to achieve? And I love that I've come towards the end of the year, so that as we are planning for 2021, you ask yourself, what do I want to achieve in 2021? And then you create a plan towards that. Mummies, this one is nice. Laugh and rest. Laugh, not smile. You know, the one you laugh until you're crying, that one. Take time to laugh and rest. Build your confidence muscle, because the happier you are, the more you show up into the world, somebody who is not beaten down. Reflect on your strength. Ask yourself, what can I do well? I tell my ladies in my programs, listen to what people are saying, because they are telling you exactly who you are and what you can do. But sometimes we are so blind to all, people giving us good compliments, that we are afraid, what if they are true? They are true. So reflect on your strength and ask yourself, how can I show up into the world strengthening those things that are good about me? And lastly, but importantly, is allow God to empower you. Read his word, get to know him, get to know what he expects of you. Spend time with God, and you'll be surprised about the assignment he has for you. I shared this with my mentee in the Create Your Mentorship Brand program. And I was telling her, one day in the future, as you create your program and you have mentees, at the end of the day, until the pain of remaining the same outweighs the pain of change, they will not change. So moms, if you're going to change your confidence, you have to ask yourself, what is more weighty? Do I want to change, or do I want to remain the same? The day the pain of remaining the same is bigger than the change, you're ready. You're ready. When you're so afraid of remaining stagnant, you decide for yourself to change. But for as long as you're being told change, change, and you're like, I'm okay the way I am, you're not going to change. If you want to grow more in your mom confidence, you must want to not remain the same. I don't know how many of you want to change. I hope it's many of you. So mummies, are you ready? Are you ready to stop feeling frustrated about your current stagnation in your life? Are you ready to feel fulfilled and transform your low self-awareness and self-belief into self-confidence? Do you want to show up differently in your life? Do you want to discover your calling? Are you ready to redesign your life? I have been fortunate to help many moms, and I have seen many in this call. Are you ready to discover your significance through your calling? Are you ready to discover why God has called you? For those who are going to watch the replay, if you've not been in my programs, you need to come or find a coach, find another mentor who will get to unleash in you your mom confidence. So anybody who is watching here, if you have not come for any of my programs, either Spark Your Brand, where you discover your calling, or you've not done the 30-day mom money mindset makeover for moms, make sure you come over. If you want to be a mentor, I have a program called Create Your Mentorship Brand, which is new this year, and I'm so thankful. What change do you want in your life? Do you want to show up life ready every day? Do you want to show up confident? Mummies, the reason why I feel like I have permission is because I know my calling, and I'm so thankful that God allowed me to know why I am here at such a time as this. Because my calling is to help moms redesign their lives through the power of their odd factor. And that odd factor is your uniqueness, the combination of everything you've been through, everything you have learned, everything you have sharpened. That odd factor, the thing that distinguishes you above everybody else. That through that power of your odd factor, you can win life and thrive in your family, your faith, and finances. If you're a mom out there and this is what you want for your life, please reach out to me. You can write, and I have many friends. Please write my number so that anybody who wants to get to redesign their lives can call me. Please type in for me my number 0722703196. Somebody can type in for me so that if you're here, whether you're watching now or watching the replay, and you want to change your life so that your mom confidence can shine through. If you want to be secure in who you are by first discovering who you are and what God has called you to do, reach out. This is the time for change. 2021 has to be different. Corona, no corona. Election vibes, no election vibes. You still have to be confident, because when you're confident as a mom, it goes to everybody who is dependent on you. The happier you are, the happier the people surrounding you are, because you're secure in who you are and you're not injured by anybody. Two more slides. This is the second last one. This is the mantra for my ladies out there. And when I was saying I'm coming to do this live, I told them, ladies, I'm dearing, because this is what we say of each other. Using your momfidence, which God willing, now you've seen that you can start tapping into. Dear. Do it afraid. Do it authentic. Do it anyway. Dear. Do it afraid. Do it authentic. Do it anyway. Where do you need to tap into your momfidence? Where do you need to do it afraid? Where do you need to show up authentic? Where do you need to do it anyway? Even if you're a perfectionist, where can you just do it anyway, even if you're afraid? And now, as I conclude, moms, and I am so thankful. I can't even take it for granted that you came in for the live call, that you're going to watch the replay. For those who are going to watch the replay, what I want to tell you is this. It's a prayer for you. Now, moms, glory to God, who is able, through his mighty power at work within you, within me, within us, to accomplish infinitely more than we might ask or think or even imagine. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. May the Lord strengthen you. May you look at yourself through God's perspective. May you shatter that mirror that is just showing you flaws and what you haven't done yet, bringing into light how insignificant you are. Shatter that mirror, mom. Bleed. Get help. Start living. Buy a new mirror. That when you look at yourself, you start looking at yourself through God's eyes and knowing I'm significant, I'm important, I have worth. I have value. I haven't reached this point because I haven't struggled. I've reached this point because I finally saw myself not through people's eyes, but through God's eyes. You don't reach here by deciding one morning, I want to see myself differently. You only get your mom confidence by bleeding. It's time to bleed. It's time to change. It's time to live. It's time to buy a new mirror. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord keep you. Thank you for sharing your time with me. Sorry that you had a hitch at the beginning, but I pray that you have gotten blessed and you know that God can do wondrous and big things for your life. Please let me know that this has added value in your life. I can see Jedi saying, thanks a lot, Wairimo. God bless you abundantly. I receive that. Miley says, thank you, Wairimo. God bless you. I receive that. And Judy as well says, thanks. I'm not the same. I'm changing. Amen, amen, amen. If that's what you have proclaimed, may it happen in Jesus' name. Miriam, thank you so much. I can never have enough of your lessons. I thank you, thank you, thank you for always having my back. Shelma, thank you, Wairimo, for helping me see and understand myself as I discovered my purpose and dived in. I'm still swimming in the waters. Thank you again. God bless you big. I need to mention that when we were doing Discover Your Calling with Shelma, we made a promise with each other. I made a promise to show up afraid and do live on Facebook. And she said she's going to show up afraid and do her podcast. And she was true. She did it before me. Go and to her podcast, which is Three Chord Diaries, and listen to those stories. Thank you, Miley. Miley is beautiful interior designer, and I'm so privileged to know you, Miley. God has given you the eye for beauty, and keep doing God's work. Shiro also, who came, Shiro is now doing beautiful things with the essence, the essential oils. Please reach out to her. Thank you, Miley. I'm glowing. Ni Yesu, ni Yesu, ni Yesu. Elsie, thank you. I'm glad I logged in. Let's shatter the mirror. Thank you, thank you, thank you. For those who are going to watch the replay, I'll be reading your comments as well. And may the Lord bless you. It's like we are together. And see you, ladies. I can't wait to hear the change the Lord is making in you. And you, when you start bleeding and you need help, come to me. I'm always ready. I'm always ready. May the Lord bless you all. See you, ladies. Bye.